in this field was Indian villages. All right. We used to do mud bogs here, sand drags, monster truck shows, all kinds of stuff in the 80s. And before I started doing my building this new track, I asked the archaeologist, I said, can you go check it for me, make sure there's no villages, no anything there? And they told me, we don't need to check, we've done look, there ain't a thing there. I said, you're sure? And they said, yep, go for it. So we spent about $60,000 in concrete barriers, chain link fence, time and equipment, you know, had it all trucked in here, called my buddy with a D9. He took a dozer and he run him a swipe up through there, about 3 swipes, and we uncovered Indian villages all the way up through there. All the way up, far up, where the tree is 10,000 BC site. Okay? This site down here is the 1700 site where the Indians actually run the trading post and traded with the white man. Now, how we know the Indians run the trading post and stuff and they're dating, we found their tools. They buried their tools in white sand, covered it up with turtle shells, and disappeared off the face of the earth. And the Indian never gives up his tools. His tools he has to have every day to survive. An Indian carries them in a pouch on his side. He does not bury them in the sand and come back to get them. So whatever happened here was evil. It was bad. I mean, we don't know if another tribe massacred them. We don't know if the white man massacred them. But we did not find any extreme amount of burials. The burials you find on this property are usually winter deaths. And how we know they're winter deaths, we're all sitting in our little hut. We didn't have teepees. We had huts made of stick and mud. Had a fire sitting in the middle. Grandpa dies, falls over dead. We've got sticks and rocks. It's 18 degrees below zero outside. How do we dig a hole? Anybody got an idea? You move the fire to the side. It's warming underneath. You dig the hole there. You put Grandpa in, put some rocks on top of him, fill it back up with dirt, move the fire back in the middle, and go on with supper. That's how they had to survive. Alright, so that's how we know about the deaths. There's roughly in this field 2,000 skeletons. 25 of them are still missing. They were taken by Marshall University and the University of North Carolina. Stole the skeletons and will not return them. There is artifacts missing from Concord College, Marshall University, and University of North Carolina. The main archaeologist's name was Dave First. So if anybody y'all know someone that kind of gets it under their skin about people stealing skeletons, there's where I need some help. Okay? Every tour I give, I tell them the flat truth, and I hope someday I run into the one person, like North Carolina University told me, you don't have the money to fight our alumni.
Is it UNC? Is it UNC?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So,
what's his name?
Dave First. He's not there no more. He actually works for the Corps of Engineers, Army Corps of Engineers. That's the last place I traced him to. Okay? Down here, when you camp, it's real funny. I pulled a prank on a guy that worked over in Bluefield, Virginia for the city. He's full-blooded Indian, so he said. And I had him camp out right over behind that little porta-john there, okay? And everybody called him Chief. So Chief, he sets up his tent. We're doing a 4th of July 3-day celebration on, what was that, 2005, I believe it was. And he's, man, it's going to be great. We got 4-wheelers, we got country music, we got karaoke, got it all. And had a few bands come in and play. So Chief, he sets out his tents, and come the end of the first night, somewhere in this area, we had some chairs. And all the guys working with me and everything, we're all sitting there talking until about 2:30 in the morning, and we decided we're going to call it quits. And Chief, he heads back to his tent, and I said, I'll see you about 6 in the morning. Well, I came back about 6 in the morning and beat on old Chief's tent and got notice, and his truck was gone. He showed up about 10:30, 11 that day. And he called me everything but a white man. He said, why didn't you tell me the place was haunted? I said, oh, you're an Indian. You're supposed to feel that stuff, you know what I mean? He swore about 3:30 when the fog comes in through here. It's just a few inches above the ground, all right? About 3:30. He heard Indians chanting, drums beating, he seen a mist of a fire and an Indian dancing to the fire. It come nighttime, when it started to get dark, he got in his truck and he left every single day of the event. Refused to stay here. Now, the first people to ever be able to stay here all night and actually stay here all night was the Mid-Atlantic Paranormal Group. They camped out the same spot over there. And but that night when I left them, there was 10 people. The next morning when they got up, there was 2 of them. They had locked themselves in the car. And one of them swore to me all night long. Something went around and banged on their car, and they couldn't see what it was. Said they'd look out the windows. I said, you 2 grown men now, not 2 kids, right? I said, you didn't get out and take a look? And they went, no. Now, I had a Marine stay down here all night in the tent. And he actually made it all night, but it's kind of funny. His wife said, she said something was hitting the tent, and she told him to get up and look. And he said when he went to get up, he could see 2 eyes staring in the front of the tent, and he crawled back in under the covers and hid his head and shook till in the morning. They refused to get up and go see what it was. So, I mean, there's some weird stuff happens down here. That's why I said if you want to camp all night, here's where you want to, you know what I mean, camp all night. Just don't build no fires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want to burn the hayfield out. That's a bad thing out here.
Cigarette?
Yeah, that's dry hay.
Oh.
That's $13,000. I can't push that enough.
All right.
Okay. All right, that's about all I got to tell you about down here. You can start recording me.